service to our community. I'm Jamie Horton, and I will be your host this evening. We are broadcasting live from our studio on KMHT 103.9 FM, also live audio and video on our website, easttexastoday.com. Candidates in the upcoming primary election have been invited to join us this evening to present their political platforms in order to inform our listening and viewing audience. We hope this evening's broadcast will help you, the voters, to make your choices this primary election. We would like to remind our audience that early voting begins tomorrow, Tuesday, February the 18th, 2014, Wednesday, February 26th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and continues Thursday, February the 27th and Friday, February the 28th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Harrison County Elections Office in Marshall. Early voting will also be held Thursday, February the 20th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Friday, February the 21st from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at IBEW Longview Heights, Elysian Fields, and Wascom. On Wednesday, February 26th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., early voting will be held at Gold Hall in Hallsville, Karnak, and Harleton. Thursday, February the 27th, early voting will again be held at Gold Hall in Hallsville, Karnak, and Harleton from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Friday, February the 28th, early voting will be in Marshall and Wascom from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Election Day is Tuesday, March the 4th. If you are not sure where your voting location is, you can call the Harrison County Registration Office in Marshall at 903-935-4822, and they will be glad to assist you. For early voting in Marion County and voting day locations, you may call 903-665-3971. Now, the rules for tonight's forum are simple. Each candidate is allowed up to 5 minutes to make his or her presentation. There will not be any questions or any debate between candidates, and candidates will be appearing in ballot order. Starting first, candidate for Harrison County Court at Law, Bill Huddleston, Republican.
Thank you, Jamie. Like I tell my juries, I'm not 6 feet tall, I don't have a big booming voice, and I'm not a very accomplished public speaker, but I'm William Bill Huddleston. I'm running for the office of Judge of your county court at law here in Harrison County. I would first like to say that I'm very pleased to be able to run for public office in a country where people elect their own leaders. That's why, despite all the problems we face today, I backed my radio ads with the hymn, America the Beautiful. I have thoroughly enjoyed campaigning, and I thank each of you for being helpful, kind, and attentive to tomorrow's Republican primary. Now about me. I'm not used to talking about me. I'm used to talking about my clients. Anyway, I have 30 years experience enforcing state and federal drug laws. I have 19 years experience practicing in our local courts, prosecuting civil lawsuits, doing criminal defense, divorce, and child custody, juvenile and elder law, divorce and child custody again, personal injury and defense, probate of wills and estates, all matters that come before the court. I have a 4-year goal of making the court self-supporting to lessen the burden on the taxpayers. In recent years, the court has only collected enough fines to barely pay for 1/2 of the court's personnel costs. 80% of the court's criminal defendants are first-time offenders and end up on probation. Criminals on probation should pay their actual debt to society. My 4-year goal is not a pledge, it's not a promise, it's just a goal. It may not be possible to achieve it. There could be a great awakening of a faith and crime could dwindle to nothing. I am a man of temperance with no weakness for alcohol, and I do this by choice. I have also no sympathy for people that decide to drive on our roads while intoxicated. America is still a free country where I believe where every adult should be able to make, buy, and consume all the wine, whiskey, and beer they desire, but they cannot get on our roads and endanger us while intoxicated. The court handles criminal juvenile matters where the goals of rehabilitation and the protection of the community. Let me repeat, protection of the community from young criminals. Many children test the boundaries of behavior in their own homes and find none. When parents come into court saying they give up and they don't know what to do, I believe the court should provide them with tools, skills, and support needed to change their children's behavior at no cost to the taxpayer. I've consulted with a sociologist and a psychologist, and they think this is possible and will be beneficial to those parents and the community. However, I do not believe in the state telling parents how to raise and what to teach their children, but when parents of juvenile offenders have exhausted their parenting skills, probably passed down from their parents, the state should offer some help. About 12 years ago, I led the opposition to unlimited taxing and borrowing power in a proposed city charter. The charter would have eliminated bond issue and tax referendum elections. The chairman of the commission explained that the city government would be more efficient if voters did not need to be consulted on financial matters. I knew this was a dangerous encroachment on the voters' power. My part was the Just Say No to the New City Charter radio show, where the power grab was exposed, the voters were informed, and the proposed city charter was voted down 4-1, and I went back to a quiet life. The retiring Judge Ammerman has an excellent staff that has always been kind and helpful to me, and I believe they should remain in their positions if they desire, to assure a seamless and smooth transition to the new court. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time and attention. If you believe like me, vote with me and for me in the Republican primary tomorrow through February 28th or on March 4th. Remember, say Republican when you get to the polls.
That was William Bill Huddleston, candidate for County Court at Law, Harrison County. Our next candidate to be speaking this evening, also Harrison County County Court at Law Judge Joe Black, Republican.
Good evening. My name is Joe Black, and I am a Republican candidate for judge of the Harrison County Court at Law. I was born and raised in Harrison County. My family goes back 6 generations in the Nesbitt community. I'm married, and my wife Cindy and I are the proud parents of 4 children and 2 grandchildren. I'm a conservative Christian who believes that our children are our greatest asset. As a graduate of Marshall High School, I have a business degree from Stephen F. Austin State University and a law degree from Texas Wesleyan University. I've had the honor and privilege of being a practicing attorney for the past 20 years in courtrooms across Texas. I've had the honor of litigating over 160 trials before a jury. During my tenure as attorney, I'm proud to have been involved in public service across East Texas. I've been involved in the board of directors for organizations such as the Children's Advocacy Center of East Texas, the East Texas Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, the 12-Way Foundation. I've served as a judge for the Longview Teen Court program, and I've been a visiting instructor for the East Texas Police Academy. I'm currently the only candidate in my race that is being endorsed by the Marshall Police Officers Association. I currently have a private practice, and I'm a small business owner in Marshall, Texas, in the law office of Joe Black. I practice primarily in the areas of criminal defense, juvenile law, civil matters, probate, family law, and some personal injury. Beginning in January 2015, your county court at law will for the first time have a judge who will serve as a full-time position and no longer be allowed to have a private practice. This court needs a judge who has the leadership necessary to carry it forward and the experience to handle the court on a day-to-day basis. As your judge, I plan on making several changes in a positive manner for the court. First will be to create an online system of access for our citizens, so citizens can get online through our harrisoncountytexas.org website and know what's going on in a court from a day-to-day basis, assisting to help our government in transparency. Second, myself and Judge Moore have already had discussions about creating what is known as a centralized jury pool in Harrison County, coordinating jury weeks and jury selection so that citizens will not be inconvenienced any more than necessary. This will also save taxpayer dollars in the areas of postage, material cost, and personnel, in that we will no longer have to have juries picked different weeks for different courts, saving our taxpayers and our citizens time away from their families and taxpayer dollars. I promise to be tough but fair on crime. I'll require offenders guilty of criminal acts to be punished according to the law. Whether they receive jail time or probation, I will work to ensure they are accountable to the punishment they receive as your judge. I will ensure our juvenile offenders are evaluated and judged fairly and honestly, and try to instill a sense of responsibility for their actions. I believe accountability for our children begins at home, not in our courts and not in our schools. Lastly, I will create a civil docketing system that allows civil cases to be from the time they are filed until the time they go to trials in a time period of less than 18 months. This will allow attorneys and the staff to be prepared to finish cases rather than let them lingering on the docket for years to go, saving taxpayer dollars and citizen expense. As an attorney who's litigated thousands of cases before various judges across the state, I know the difference in value a knowledgeable judge can make in the courtroom. As a judge, you must remain impartial and fair on the bench, not a judge who dictates or pushes his personal agenda. I can make statements during this campaign that I have no tolerance for DWI offenders or people who assault women, but to do so as a judicial candidate would violate the state judicial canon of ethics, and I would no longer be fair and impartial judge because I've taken a personal position now on how to decide those cases. Our county court at law currently has a budget of $304,000 this year, and in the past 5 years has collected an average of $350,000 to $450,000 annually, according to the auditor's office. Therefore, our court currently collects more money than what the budget is distributed. Funds collected by the county court are distributed by state law and not as a judge decides them. I believe in the communities and citizens of Harrison County. Your county court at law consists of a docket of over 1,500 cases a year. As a citizen, you need a judge who is qualified and has the experience necessary to move this court forward. I believe I am the best candidate for this job, and I would appreciate your consideration and vote in the March 4th Republican primary. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Again, candidate for judge of the Harrison County Court at Law, Republican Joe Black. Again, tonight we will be going in ballot order and will now move into the race for district clerk. We're speaking first tonight is Melinda Finley Craig, Republican.
Good evening. I am Melinda Finley Craig, your district clerk for the 71st District Court. It's been a privilege to serve you over the last 4 years. I have had the honor of meeting most of you through my time as your district clerk or while out through the county. However, I would like to introduce myself to all of you if you had not had the pleasure of meeting me. I am the daughter of Tom and Georgia Finley of Hallsville, my late husband Bruce Craig, and I have one son, Andrew, who is a freshman at Hallsville High School. I attended Hallsville Public Schools and graduated from Marshall High School in 1988. After high school, I followed in my father's footsteps after graduating from the Kilgore College East Texas Police Academy and started a career in law enforcement. I served for 8 years as a patrol officer in Overton, Texas. During my time as an officer, I earned numerous certificates and a special merit from Sheriff J.B. Smith. After my time in law enforcement, I worked for 17 years in the Rusk and Tarrant County District Clerk's offices. After this term, as your Harrison County District Clerk, I now have a combined 21 years of experience in the District Clerk's office. I am a member of the Harrison County Republican Women, the Chamber of Commerce, Texas Association of Counties, Lions Club, at large, and the County and District Clerks Association. Now that you have a better understanding of who I am, I want to discuss with you the duties of your district clerk. some successes from the last 4 years, and my plans for the district clerk's office for the next 4 years. Your district clerk is the custodian of records for the district court. These records date back as far as the 1800s. These records are reviewed and viewed frequently and are in desperate need of preservation and restoration. I am currently in the process of receiving bids to restore these records that need attention. Funding for this restoration will be accomplished through the Records Preservation Fund at no cost to the taxpayers of Harrison County. In addition to being the custodian of records, the district clerk processes, files, civil cases, family cases, including divorces, adoptions, CPS cases, and felony criminal cases. The district clerk also issues passports and handles trust accounts for the county. If you reelect me as your district clerk, I will continue to work during the next term to implement electronic filing in order to make our office a paperless office. Electronic filing will become mandatory by June of 2015. My staff and I have been working toward this goal, and I will continue to do so in the coming months. I already have experience in accomplishing the transition to electronic filing, as we have already set up the electronic filing for criminal and civil appeal cases. I have been blessed to have a staff of qualified ladies who all strive to serve the citizens of this county. My staff and I work as a team to provide an excellent and friendly service to every person who does business in the district clerk's office. If you reelect me as your district clerk, my staff and I will continue to provide quality service to the citizens of this county. I love Harrison County and its residents. I look forward to continuing to serve you. My goal is to heed the words of my late husband, Bruce. He always said, "Let's continue to move forward because you can never go back." I am Melinda Finley Craig, and I am asking for your support in the Republican primary to vote for me as your Harrison County District Clerk. Thank you.
Again, Melinda Finley Craig, Republican candidate for District Clerk. Speaking next tonight, again as we go in ballot order, will be Republican candidate for District Clerk, Sherry Griffiths.
Hello, I am Sherry Haynes Griffiths. I am a Republican candidate for Harrison County District Clerk. I'm asking for your vote in the upcoming primary election on March the 4th, 2014. I have previously served as the Harrison County District Clerk from January 1995 to December 2010. I am qualified and experienced in the duties as the District Clerk. The District Clerk is the custodian of records, jury administrator for the county, and files civil, criminal, and family law cases, including child support cases for the Attorney General's office. I pledge to the citizens of Harrison County to safekeep the records and be a full-time clerk. I'm experienced and trained with the current software in the District Clerk's office. The District Clerk's office has been mandated to be in compliance with electronic filing of documents in the court by July 2015. As your district clerk, I will work with other county officials and offices to make the 71st Court in compliance before the due date. With the recent passing of Senate Bill 1806, the job of the district clerk just got more interesting. Effective January 2015, the district judge can now assign family law cases to the county court at law. This means more juries to be picked and a clerk available for the added courts. With my experience as a full-time working clerk, the district clerk's office will be able to handle this transition without having to hire more personnel and thus saving tax dollars. The district clerk's office is open to be a service to the public. I believe the office of the district clerk is a valuable resource in the community. I have been a citizen of Harrison County for 54 years. I've been married 33 years to Mike Griffiths, retired administrator of MISD and owner of the Paisley Rose. I have one son, Casey Griffiths, and daughter-in-law, Ashley. I have one beautiful granddaughter, Paisley, who's 3 years old, and all live in Harrison County. My parents are Mr. and Mrs. Billy Haynes and the late Mrs. Martha Haynes, and I'm the daughter-in-law of the late Jubal and Josie Griffiths. I've served this community through volunteering in numerous organizations. When serving as district clerk of Harrison County from 1995 to 2010, I served as a board member of the Texas County and District Clerk Association, the Texas District Court Alliance, trustee for the Greenchild Cemetery Association, and attend the Harrison County Cowboy Church of Hallsville, Texas. I'm currently employed as the victim coordinator and hot check coordinator for the Harrison County District Attorney's Office since January 2011. I'm asking for your vote for Harrison County District Clerk because I'm dedicated, experienced, and qualified for the job. Early vote for Republican primary election begins February the 18th through the 28th, and Election Day is March the 4th, 2014. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with the KMHT listeners. Remember, vote Sherry Haynes Griffiths, Republican, Harrison County District Clerk. Thank you.
Again, Sherry Griffiths, Republican candidate for District Clerk. Again, KMHT will be moving in ballot order tonight, and we move from the District Clerk race now to the County Clerk, Harrison County Clerk. Up first tonight is Democrat Ken Moon.
Hello, citizens of Harrison County. My name is Ken Moon, the Democratic candidate for County Clerk, Harrison County. I am a Christian who believes in Judeo-Christian beliefs, such as equal pay for equal work. As a lifelong conservative Democrat, the party of our fathers in Harrison County, I believe in democratic principles, such as adequate funding for education and unencumbered access to voting. I guess you're asking what makes me qualified to be the next Harrison County Clerk. As a business owner, I know the importance of keeping good records for filing purposes. I have the necessary managerial skills, since I have held numerous administrative positions at institutions of higher education where I was responsible for a multi-million-dollar budget and the day-to-day operations of a 40,000 student body facility at Wayne State University. My responsibilities included food service operation, 24-hour janitorial services, student counseling, academic services, and religious organization offices were housed in the building. As director, I instituted a research project which showed students were concerned with food presentation more so than pricing. I incorporated bank services, a pinball machine room, and fast food operations. These innovative and creative projects at the time gained national acclaim for the university, plus increased revenues and student satisfaction. Presently, the food service concept being used at ETB University Student Center building here in Marshall, Texas is an example. Academically, I have a BA in political science and a teaching certificate from Western Michigan University, a master's in educational administration and counseling from Eastern Michigan University, where I was associate dean of students in charge of discipline and academic retention for a diverse student population of approximately 25,000 students. While serving in this capacity, I instituted the nation's first student contract discipline agreement, which I presented at the American Association for University Professors annual meeting in Chicago. I've been granted PhD candidacy for higher education from the University of Michigan. My emphasis was organizational psychology getting the most out of an individual in a working environment. Citizens of Harrison County, my vision for this office as keeper of the records is to improve services for every citizen in the county. From an old man trying to locate leases in Woodlawn, Texas, to a little old lady trying to locate a birth certificate so she can vote. I will demand from the staff and myself that we treat each person with patience, respect, and dignity, as well as providing the latest technological advances of the website and protection of privacy rights. If you want improved services and new leadership for the county, then elect Ken Moon for county clerk. I am the father of 3 and grandfather of 4. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, and that was, again, Ken Moon, Democratic candidate for Harrison County Clerk. Also tonight, Republican candidate for Harrison County Clerk, Patsy Cox.
Good evening. I'm Patsy Cox, your current county clerk. It's an honor and privilege to have served the citizens of Harrison County for the past 14 years. I am seeking re-election as the Republican candidate. I am unopposed in the Republican primary election on March 4th. I will be opposed in the November general election. I'm asking for your continued vote and support. Tonight, I am not going to give you all of the reasons why you should keep me as county clerk. I'm going to save that for a later date. However, I do want to remind you that early voting starts tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the elections office in Marshall at 415 East Burleson Street. Early voting continues every weekday until Friday, February 28th. The 28th of February happens to be the designated date for Texas Independence Day. The county offices will be closed, but the elections office will be open for early voting. There will also be branch locations and extended voting hours during the early voting period for your convenience. You can call the elections office at 903-935-4822 for further information and about your voting location on Election Day, which is March 4th. If you did not catch this phone number, locate your new orange voter certificate, which you should have received in the mail in November. The elections office phone number is at the top of this card. And also remember, you need to take your voter certificate with you when you go to vote, and don't forget to take your personal ID, such as your driver's license. This is now a state law. As you know, Texas is a closed primary election state, and you will have to choose in which primary you want to vote. I've been asked this question: do I have to vote in the same primary that I voted in 2 years ago? And the answer is no. I'm asking you to please vote in the Republican primary. Thank you for your attention and your continued support and your vote.
And thank you. That was Republican candidate for Harrison County Clerk, Patsy Cox. Again, KMHT will be moving along tonight in ballot order. We are now moving on to county commissioner candidates for precinct number 2, and we'll begin with Kenneth Kent Alford, Democrat.
Vote for a man who gets the job done. Elect Kent Alford as your county commissioner, precinct 2. I am former Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 Judge Ken Alford. I am seeking the office of County Commissioner Precinct 2. For more than 8 years, I have demonstrated proven leadership, serving all citizens of Precinct 2 and Harrison County. During my 8.5 years as Justice of the Peace, revenue flow increased over 100%, maintained a balanced budget, established a good working relationship with all departments within the county and the city of Marshall, returned more than $150,000 of property to citizens and local businesses. Over $30,000 was collected for litigants after they received their judgments. If elected as county commissioner, I will continue to work just as hard for the citizens of Precinct 2 in Harrison County. As your county commissioner, I pledge to support Commissioners Court in adopting a balanced budget, to be readily available to citizens in Precinct 2 to discuss their complaints and grievances. If necessary, I will schedule a time for them to bring their complaints and grievances before the Commissioners Court, to support developing, adopting, and implementing a plan to assist in bringing jobs to our community, to expand and strengthen our economic base, as well as reduce the unemployment rate at 6.5% and lower the poverty level at 16% within our community, to frequently monitor repairs and maintenance on county roads and bridges within Precinct 2 on site, to develop a plan to evacuate citizens in Precinct 2 in case of a major disaster, to educate rural property owners on environmental and health and safety laws. I know the duties of County Commissioner. I am knowledgeable of the laws that govern the Commissioner's Court. I am capable, competent, and fully prepared to assume the duties of County Commissioner. Precinct 2 needs someone who knows how to make tough decisions, someone who knows how to get results, someone who knows how to get the job done. I am the man to get the job done. I am the only child of the late Pink Alford, the late Gladys Manyweather Alford. I am married to Carol Keys. We have 4 children. We enjoy 11 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. I'm an active member of St. Joseph Catholic Church, where I serve as an usher and communion minister. Father Denzel is my pastor. I'm a graduate of H.B. Pimpton High School, graduated Wiley College with honors with a BA degree in history and a BS degree in secondary education. I have received over 340 hours of judicial training from Justice Court Training Center, Texas State University San Marcos, graduated 40-hour mid-management training program from McCoy College of Business, Texas State University, San Marcos, sponsored by the Texas Association of Counties. I believe in giving back to the community. I volunteer my time working with various civic and fraternal organizations throughout the community. I am a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated, past Grand Knight of Knights of Columbus, Council 1422, president of the Marshall Lions Club, past president of the Marshall Noon Optimist Club, Regular Fellows Club, and member of the Chamber of Commerce. I believe that people hear what you are saying, but they see what you are doing. And they know what you have done. You have heard what I have said. You have seen what I have done. So go to the polls and vote early February 18th through the 28th and March 4th and vote for a man who gets the job done. Elect Alford as your next county commissioner. Thank you. This announcement is paid for by Ken Alford. Thank you.
And thank you again. That's Kent Alford, Democratic candidate for County Commissioner, Precinct 2. Up next tonight in the County Commissioner Precinct number 2 race is Republican candidate Robert Bruce.
Good evening. North, south, east, west, the four directions that Harrison County Courthouse faces. It is also the directions in which the County Commissioner of Precinct 2 holds responsibilities. Good evening. I'm Robert Bruce, and I'm asking for your support and vote in the March Republican primary for County Commissioner Precinct 2. I'd like to thank KMHT for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I have lived in Harrison County since the age of 4. My father is from Harrison County, and my family moved back here in 1967. I'm a 1981 graduate of Marshall High School and a proud 1985 graduate of Texas A&M University. I have a wife, Kristen, 2 sons, Devin, 20, and Josh, 13. Harrison County has been my home where I wanted to raise my kids in a safe environment. I have chosen to live here and work here and hope my children and your children can continue to stay here and prosper. This can only happen when our area is growing and attracting new business. I feel my experience at many levels of education will enable me to be a positive impact to the County Commissioner's Court. With the knowledge of state and federal grants, implementation of technology and infrastructure citywide, developing budgets both large and small, bringing different entities successfully together for projects has given me the experience to help Harrison County grow. I have always worked under accountability structure my entire career, so I truly understand that I am accountable to the people of Harrison County and to all the constituents of Precinct 2. As your county commissioner, I would work now, as I have done in the past, to help create the need for more qualified workers in Harrison County. Starting new programs such as the Early College High School has not only allowed students to earn a degree upon graduating high school and getting jobs, but has put additional people to work here in Harrison County. I believe a strong tax base is a knowledgeable workforce. We must use our positive attributes of Harrison County to attract companies that are willing to hire educated individuals in good paying jobs. Preparing those individuals must take priority for us all and a new aspect towards education. People move to places they find safe and secure. They work in places they feel benefit them. As your commissioner, I will support our law enforcement and volunteer fire departments as they continue to serve the people of Harrison County. I applaud the unselfish work these individuals do each and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, I am asking you for a commitment to me as I am committing to you. Once elected, I will serve as a full-time county commissioner, someone who has been here in Harrison County and understands issues that affect each part of Harrison County, from Karnak to Gill, and from Wascom to Hallsville. We are as different as north is to south and east is to west. One common belief we all have is to live within our means. I think government that serves the people should do the same. As the superintendent of Panola Charter Schools, we have had to live within our means, facing state cuts and still providing the service to our students. As a county commissioner and responsible for overseeing budget preparations, I feel I have the experience to make such decisions and to understand the complex workings of government. The loss of revenue we have faced in the oil and gas business is tremendous. I believe that as a county commissioner, it is my responsibility to know the issues and to be informed on the daily working of our county. I do not think that any government entity should go into any endeavor unless they are willing to see it through to the end. Therefore, gathering information and making the right decision is an important part of the job I am asking you to entrust me. I ask you tonight to gather information, look at the issues and the facts, and gain the knowledge of who you would like to represent you as your next county commissioner of Precinct 2. I thank you for your time and concern and ask you not only to vote for me, but to be sure to vote. Once again, I'm Robert Bruce. I ask for your support on the Republican ballot as County Commissioner for Precinct 2. Thank you and have a good evening.
And thank you. Again, that's Republican candidate for County Commissioner Precinct 2, Robert Bruce. KMHT again moving along tonight in ballot order as we now move into candidates for County Commissioner Precinct number 4. And leading us off tonight is Republican candidate Howard Hunt.
Thank you for this opportunity to tell you a little about myself. My name is Howard Hunt. I am a candidate for Harrison County Commissioner, Precinct 4. My wife Margaret and I live in Harrison County for 31 years and raised 2 beautiful daughters and now 2 precious granddaughters. I feel my real life experiences in the oil business, a cattle rancher, and serving 13 years as trustee on the Hallsville School Board should serve me well for this county commissioner's job. Being a self-employed oilfield contractor, I employed a lot of people, purchased and managed equipment, met a payroll, had to stay within budget. As a school board trustee, I made my decisions based on what was best for the students, the employees of the district, and the taxpayers. I am a strong advocate for landowner property rights, both water and mineral. I am not for the creation of water district land grabs that won't come in and tax your water wells and your stock ponds. I also feel the oil and gas industry should be responsible for helping keep the county roads repaired. When they come into the county to drill a well, they bring in heavy trucks with drilling, fracking equipment, along with water hauling. Then when the well is completed, they often leave the county roads in bad shape. Therefore, I think when these companies budget for these wells, they should appropriate monies for road repairs when necessary. I support our county law enforcement. I understand there's communication systems at this time that needs vast improvements. These matters need to be addressed and resolved. Our volunteer fire departments are very vital to our local communities. They deserve all the help we can afford to give them. I am conservative. I am for low taxes and getting the most out of our tax dollars. I will work with the other commissioners of our county. I will make sure Precinct 4 is represented. I am asking for your support. Vote for me on March the 4th to be your next commissioner, Harrison County, Precinct 4. And just remember, we live in the greatest country ever, the United States of America, Harrison County, Texas, and I urge each and every one to exercise their right to vote. Thank you.
And thank you again. That's Republican candidate for County Commissioner Precinct number 4, Howard Hunt. Up next, County Commissioner Precinct 4, Republican candidate Jay Ebarb.
Yes, thank you. Tonight I'm going to take a few minutes. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Legion Fields, graduated from Legion Fields High School in 1973, where I went to Panola Junior College, and from there went to Sam Houston State University. Graduated in December of 1977 with a Bachelor of Arts in Teaching degree. Came back to East Texas after college and got a coaching, went to work for Halton ISD in August of 1978 as a teacher coach. Along this time, I married a Marshall girl, Judith Chad, in January of 1979. And in 1982, we had our first son, whose name is Chad, and our second son, Chance, who was born in 1984. We've always been active in the community. I was the past president of the Dixie Youth Baseball Program in Halton for 14 years. I spent 15 years on the Halton ISD School Board and was very involved in many of the great projects in our school district. While on the school board, we had to set budgets and set the tax rates, along with salary decisions, and for all personnel in the district. Was very active in the planning, the bond issues, and was happy to be a part of the board that built our new high school, along with many improvements in our athletic facilities. I'm happy to say that Halton ISD has gotten the highest awards from the state for financial excellence for the last many years. And in the 15 years that I spent on the board, we were always able to stay within our budget and keep our tax rate at a minimum for our local people. Currently, I serve as the Administrative Council Chair at Smyrna United Methodist Church, where we attend. I serve on the Smyrna Cemetery Board, the Halton Water Board, and I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of the Harrison County ESD 8 Board. Since it was voted in, this past year we have just finished 2 of our stations in ESD 8, and in the process of building the 3rd, along with the purchase of much needed equipment for the safety and protection of our volunteer firefighters. And happy to say that just this past year we were able, for the first time, for all our residents in the ESD 8 territory to be covered under a new ISO protection class, which they had never had, which helped everyone on their insurance coverage. I served on the CASA board in Marshall for a year and a half and had to step down from scheduling conflicts. In September of 1981, I left Halton ISD and went to work for the United States Postal Service in Marshall as a city carrier. I worked for the next 23 and a half years and left in April of 2004 and bought a small business, which my youngest son Chance has worked with me for the past 10 years. I feel that the county commissioner's job is a full-time job and will be out in the community and visible in Precinct 4. I will also be available at the Precinct 4 office in Halton and surrounding areas in the precinct with a schedule after the election, and my phone number is in the phone book, and I'll have a separate cell number along with the email address available for the people to get in touch with me. I would like to be a part of the County Commissioner's Court to continue the operation effectively and efficiently. I've been a lifelong resident of Harrison County. I grew up in Legion Fields. We came back to Legion Fields after my daddy was released from the military, and my wife's family covers many generations of Harrison County up in the Smyrna area. Her great-granddaddy was the late Dr. John Chad, who actually settled the Smyrna community in 1846. I'm the son of the late Herman and Frankie Ebarb of Legion Fields, and my wife is the daughter of Patricia Chad and the late Bo John Chad of Harleton. We still reside on the land that the Chad family owned and settled in the mid-1800s, and we run a small herd of cows and a few horses for our two granddaughters, Kennedy and Kinsley. My goal is that after the election in November, I will be your next full-time commissioner of Precinct 4, and my son Chance will run our business on the day-to-day operations. I would like to take this time to thank my wife for allowing me to run for this office and the people who have supported me along the way and helped me in my campaign. So remember, in early voting, or when you go to the polls on March 4th, please remember to vote for J. Ebarb, your next full-time commissioner of Precinct 4. Thank you.
Thank you again. That is Republican candidate for Harrison County Commissioner Precinct 4, J. Ebarb. Also speaking tonight, Republican candidate for Harrison County Commissioner Precinct 4, Bill Redman.
Good evening. Thank you for listening to us tonight. There's several of us. Should be entertaining. I am Bill Redman, and I am running for County Commissioner for Precinct 4 as a Republican. I've been married for 34 years to my wife, Betty. We have 3 sons and 6 wonderful grandchildren. I was born and raised on Nesbitt Cutoff in Precinct 4. I graduated from Marshall High School and attended Panola College. I proudly served 6.5 years in the U.S. Air Force, and I have lived in Precinct 4 for nearly 40 years. I didn't move here 6 months ago just so I could run for commissioner. I really do enjoy living in East Texas. For my part, it's the best place on earth. I have talked to a lot of people since I signed up to run for commissioner, and I've gotten a lot of info during these conversations. Most of the people tell me they want better roads, do not want any tax increases. I'm with them. I would very much like to see Precinct 4 get its fair share of road repairs, which from everything I can find in the past few years, we have not been getting our fair share. And I will not vote for any tax increases. It costs $360 per year in vehicle repairs to drive your car on state and federal highways, and it costs exponentially more to drive on 280 miles of county roads in Precinct 4. This has got to change. I want to work with each of our citizens to solve problems that they have concerning our precinct. The ESDs I've visited with say there are bridges they can't cross with their fire trucks, and it is unacceptable to me. It is very important that we have the best response time possible for our safety and our property. Speaking of our safety, I want to enable our Sheriff's Department to protect Precinct 4. I will work with them to see what we can do to stop drug dealers from calling Harrison County a good place to do business. Too many of our children's lives are being ruined by the worthless people and their drugs. God bless you.
Thank you.
I will work with County Industrial Board to aid them in bringing new business to our county. In closing, I would like to say I am not and will not be controlled by any group or citizen. My campaign has been funded solely by my family. I owe no allegiance to no one but the citizens of Precinct 4. Thank you for listening to me tonight. Please vote for me. Starting tomorrow, early voting, February 18th. Thank you.
Thank you, and I apologize for the sneeze.
That's quite right, sir.
A Republican candidate for County Commissioner Precinct 4, Bill Redman. Moving along as we continue with candidates in County Commissioner Precinct 4. Up next, Republican candidate Philip Smith.
Okay, I saw you try to get up. It's not halftime yet. Sit back down. My name is Philip Smith. I'm a lifelong Republican and candidate for Precinct 4 Commissioner in Harrison County. I grew up in Marshall, graduated from Marshall High School. I'm an Eagle Scout from Troop 239 at the First United Methodist Church, and I currently serve as Assistant Scoutmaster there. I attended ETBU, where I met my wife, Carol Rice Smith. In 1981, I graduated from A&M Commerce with a BS in Industry and Technology and a minor in Personnel Management.
My current work is in technical sales and services in the industrial water treatment in the East Texas area for the last 19 years. Previously, I was the manager of Terminex here in Marshall. While living in Marshall, I served as a deacon at Central Baptist Church. We moved to Harleton in 1996. I'm a member at Harleton Baptist Church, where I'm a Sunday school teacher and a deacon there. I did serve as youth and music director at New Prospect Baptist Church, just north of Jefferson, and as interim music director at Lake of the Pines Baptist Church. Now that says a lot more for a testament to God's humor than my ability to lead music, but I digress. Carol and I have been married for 33 years. We have 2 married daughters, 2 grandsons. After we turned 40, we had number 3 as a blessing, Nathan. Well, Carol corrects me on that line. She was not 40, I was 40. Our daughters both graduated from Harleton High School. One graduated from Kilgore College and the other one from LeTourneau University. We're in the 4th year homeschooling Nathan, who is a junior in high school. He's right on track to attend LeTourneau University, where he wants to be an engineer. Matter of fact, he and my wife are at LeTourneau tonight at a function. My parents are Paul and Mary Ann Smith here in Marshall. Dad retired from Darco American Nort. Mom has been a stay-at-home mom for us 6 kids, and boy, did we appreciate it. I have a sister and brother-in-law here in Marshall, Paula and Ron Skipworth, and a brother and sister-in-law in Harleton, Keith and Martha Smith. My wife's parents are Bobby and Ernestine of Karnak. Bobby retired from Thiokol, and Ernestine retired from teaching and administrative work in the Karnak and Harleton school. I bring a background of business management to this job. I've been a foreman at Lone Star Steel, a production supervisor in a conduit manufacturing, and also I managed a local business here in Marshall. The last 19 years have brought me to dozens and dozens of plants in the East Texas area, where I've met with owners, managers, mechanical and environmental engineers, architects, and subcontractors, and have had to work with all of these. I've always tried to think outside the box. Well, how does this work? Will it work this way? Is there a simpler way or an easier way to do this? I often have to teach in-plant classes to maintenance personnel on procedures to save equipment downtime and how to extend equipment life. This has also served me well in teaching Sunday school. How can you get this complicated point across the simplest, the most precise way that will be remembered and applied? You know, the Commissioner's Court, Hugh Taylor, and the current court have just done an excellent job with our finances. I would like to bring my expertise and personality to this board, and with your help, if you would vote for Philip Smith, Commissioner, Precinct 4, we can get this done. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Again, that is Republican candidate for Harrison County Commissioner Precinct 4, Philip Smith. We stay in the race for County Commissioner Precinct 4 with Republican candidate Ladarius Carter.
Thank you, Jamie. Good evening, friends and neighbors. My name is Ladarius Carter, and I'm a candidate in the Republican primary for Harrison County Commissioner Precinct 4. First, I want to tell you a little about myself, because it is important to know who you're voting for. I'm a graduate of Marshall High School and East Texas Baptist University. I am married to the wonderful and beautiful Trista Carter, who is a kindergarten teacher at Robert E. Lee Elementary School. She's also watching right now online. Trista and I are members of Sunset Missionary Baptist Church, where she serves in children's ministry and I work in youth ministry. Throughout high school and college, I was a member of the staff here at KMHT Radio. I later served in the Longview and Marshall offices of Congressman Louis Gohmert. I'm now employed with Marshall ISD in the ACE program as a site coordinator, responsible for overseeing personnel, curriculum, student safety, and budgeting. I've served on several local boards and committees, including the Marshall Main Street Board, and I am a member of several local organizations, including the Marshall Rotary Club. I'm also a 2010 graduate of Leadership Marshall and a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I've served the Republican Party as a precinct chairman and as a delegate to the Harrison County and Republican Party of Texas conventions. I've been a volunteer firefighter and chaplain with Emergency Services District Number 3, where I've seen my fellow volunteers serve our neighbors in times of need. I love this community, and I am running for this position because I want to serve my neighbors and make this community an even better place to call home. My goal as a commissioner will not be to drastically change the way the commission serves the citizens. I am a supporter of Judge Taylor and of the current commissioners. I believe that they have served well the citizens of Harrison County and placed us in a good position as we look forward to the future of our county. But there are always ways to improve, and that is what I hope to bring to the commission. I don't plan on being what some might call a yes man, but I think it is important that the commission functions in a civil manner that best represents all the residents of Harrison County. Now I want to share with you some areas that I would like to address as a member of the commission. First is public safety. I want to work with the Sheriff's Office and local volunteer fire departments to improve the public safety response that the citizens across the county receive. As your commissioner, I hope to coordinate some combined trainings with deputies, dispatchers, and fire and EMS personnel so that all emergency responders understand each other's needs so that the needs of the citizens of Harrison County can best be met. I would also like to work with the Sheriff's Office to recruit volunteers to serve as DARE presenters and reserve deputies. This would allow the county to continue the excellent law enforcement service that Sheriff McCool and his staff have established with minimal additional cost. Roads are important, of course. My concern as your commissioner will be to work with the other commissioners and the county engineer to prioritize the roads that impact the response of emergency services. Second, economic development. As your commissioner, I hope to work with Medco to bring new business and jobs to Harrison County. We already have many great businesses that call Harrison County home, but it will be my goal as your commissioner to increase the number of businesses that want to invest in our local economy. Good jobs are vital to the survival of a community. If people can't find work, they often leave and go somewhere where they won't be unemployed or underemployed. We must plan for the future and actively recruit new industry and small business to come here in order to complement the many great businesses we already have. Finally, accessibility. As your commissioner, I will be in the office and visiting with residents. I believe that it is only right that you receive full-time work for the full-time benefits that you provide to your commissioners. I will spend time in each community that makes up Precinct 4 in an effort to better understand the needs of those who will hopefully elect me. A gentleman who served for many years as a Panola County Commissioner attends church with me. When I spoke to him about my interest in running, he told me, "Remember, you're running to be a servant and not a king." That is how I will carry out my time as a county commissioner, as a servant working diligently to meet the needs of you, my bosses. I encourage each of you to visit with each candidate running for this office and make an informed decision. This office is one of the most important offices that we have an opportunity to elect people to. If you have any questions for me as to why you should elect me, feel free to give me a call on my personal cell phone, which is 903-241-0212, or email me at votecarter14@gmail.com. Again, I'm Ladarius Carter, and I would appreciate your support and your vote in the Republican primary election for Harrison County Commissioner, Precinct 4. God bless.
And thank you again. That was Republican candidate for Harrison County Commissioner, Precinct 4, Ladarius Carter. We stay in the County Commissioner Precinct 4 race. Up next, Republican candidate Ben Malden.
Hello, my name is Ben Malden, and I want to be your county commissioner. I'm 44 years old and have been married to my beautiful wife, Robbie, a Hallsville school teacher, for 22 years. I have two beautiful, intelligent, and spoiled daughters, Malin and Molly. My family has been here for over 5 generations on both my mother's and my father's side. I'm a member of Eastern Hills Church of Christ in Marshall. I have worked for Texas Eastman for 23 years, and I also raise beef cattle and hay on my family ranch. I also enjoy hunting, fishing, and occasionally losing golf balls. I believe more than ever we need Christian-based conservative leadership at the local level. My plans are to make sure that our tax dollars are spent on programs we need and are spent wisely on those programs. I'd like to make sure our tax dollars come back to our precinct not only for roads and bridges, but for economic growth incentives. I have a plan for economic growth that uses something Harrison County has an abundance of, natural gas, and makes something we can all benefit from, electricity. I believe we can offer incentives to get a natural gas-fired power plant to look at our area and possibly build a long-term value for the county. Not to mention converting county vehicles to natural gas. It's a win-win situation for the county. They buy gas from us locally, hire employees locally, and produce electricity for us locally. I know it's not that simple, but it's a plan, and a plan is a start. I don't want to be another retired person just looking for an easy additional income. I want to make a difference in our county, both for us and for our children who decide to settle and raise their families here also. Here's what I offer you. I'll be reachable for your concerns. I'll listen to those concerns. I'll investigate solutions to your concerns, and I'll get back to you and give you feedback on what I can or cannot do about your concerns. I think that's more than most people get now, but I offer more. I will never vote for a commissioner's pay raise while I'm in office, and to prove to you that money is not why I'm running, I plan to give 1 year's salary to children's charities as a good faith effort on my part. I can't promise you lower taxes, a mule and 10 acres, or health care for everyone, but I will do my best to make decisions as wisely as the good Lord allows, conservatively, and with integrity. Once again, my name is Ben Malden, and I want to be your full-time county commissioner.
Thank you again. That's Ben Malden, Republican candidate for County Commissioner, Precinct 4. Our final candidate tonight in the County Commissioner Precinct 4 race is Republican candidate Thomas Mock.
Good evening, and thank y'all for remaining with us this evening. I'm Thomas Mock, candidate for Harrison County Commissioner Precinct number 4. When I filed my candidacy, I was asked what experience I would bring to the office of County Commissioner. To begin, I have a bachelor's degree in business from East Texas Baptist College and an American Business Association certificate in management from Laterno University, as well as I'm a certified master firefighter, fire inspector, and arson investigator with the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, and a certified peace officer with the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. In my past career, I served for over 28 years with the Longview Fire Department before my retirement in 2009, with 11 of those years as District Fire Chief, and my last 2 years as Fire Marshal, helping to manage a $10 million annual budget. During that time, my peers also elected me to serve 18 years as a trustee of the Firefighters Pension Fund, with 9 years as chairman of the board. I actively serve in my church of 34 years, Mulberry Springs Baptist Church on Highway 449 in Hallsville, as a member, Sunday school teacher, and deacon. I'm also a member of the Marshall Rotary Club, the Little Cypress Masonic Lodge in Harleton. My other career-related organizations include the East Texas Arson Investigators Association, and I serve on the East Texas Council of Governments Homeland Security Advisory Board. I am married to my wife of 35 years, Lynn, who taught for 31 years, the last 25 years of being in Harleton, and father of our children, Amy and Chris, both Harleton ISD graduates. Since 2009, I have served as Harrison County Fire Marshal, Emergency Management Coordinator, and Director of Environmental Services. During these 4 years, I've assisted in acquiring and administering over $400,000 in federal grants for our county. To help the county meet our future needs, we have to be innovative in finding available grants and other funding sources. I hope that I have demonstrated what I've done in my service for Harrison County outweighs future promises that haven't been met by others. My vision as your next county commissioner is to work with you to develop plans for the future needs of our county. One way to reach that goal is to be a strong advocate for economic development, thereby helping to keep our low property taxes. Come election day, choose proven dedication, experience, and service. Vote Thomas Mock, the last name on the ballot, and make it your first choice as the next county commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you again. That is Republican candidate for County Commissioner Precinct 4, Thomas Mock. Again, KMHT going in ballot order tonight, and that concludes candidates running for County Commissioner Precinct 4. We now move on to Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1. Candidate Megan Hickey Pinson, Republican.
Hello, I am Megan Hickey Pinson, and I am currently serving as your Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Harrison County. I am asking for your support to allow me to continue serving as your Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Harrison County. I am a graduate of Wascom High School and a lifelong resident of Precinct 1 in Harrison County. My love and concern for this precinct has been nurtured by my family. My grandfather, John Hickey Sr., owned and operated G.W. Hickey & Sons, a local oilfield construction business in Wascom, and my father, John Hickey, served as Wascom Chief of Police for many years. My mother, Monica Hickey, has worked at Michael Cherry DDS in Wascom for 20 years. My husband, Bobby, and I have two beautiful girls which attend Elysian Fields Elementary. I am a member of the Republican Women of Harrison County, a member of the East Texas Justice of the Peace and Constables Association, and a member of the Wascom Lions Club. In 2006, I began my career in local government working for Judge Hugh Taylor as his court clerk in Precinct 1. For 4 years, I had the privilege of working for and being trained by Judge Taylor, which is also an attorney. In 2011, Westy Meisenheimer became Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, and I was promoted to Senior Court Clerk. Also in 2011, I received my Master Justice of the Peace Clerk certification from Texas State University Texas Justice Court Training Center, which is the highest level of education to be achieved. I have also received a total of 91 hours of classroom education from the Texas Justice Court Training Center. There are 822 Justices of the Peace in Texas with approximately 14,000 clerks, and I am one of 128 clerks out of 14,000 clerks in Texas that have achieved their Master's Clerk certification. After receiving my Master's certification, I became a teacher for the Texas Justice Court Training Center, which educates clerks and judges of their duties and responsibilities. On September the 9th, 2013, I was appointed by the Harrison County Commissioners Court to serve as your Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, Harrison County, and it has been a privilege and honor to serve as your Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1. Since in office, I have been successful in achieving my goals of running an efficient and solvent court by clearing up a backlog of cases to now maintaining a current docket. I am committed to the public and law enforcement as this job is a 24/7 job. The Harrison County Commissioners Court projected for the 2013-2014 fiscal year a revenue of JP1 fines of $150,000. Since the short 5 months I have been in office, I have brought the county a revenue of $134,111.40, and if my court is able to continue at this time, at this rate, we will be able to exceed the projected budget by 60%. I am a firm believer in and strive for efficient and effective government, and am very passionate about the law and protecting public trust. I humbly ask for your vote to continue on this amazing path God has placed me on, so please vote Megan Hickey Pinson, Republican, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Harrison County. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, that is Republican candidate for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Megan Hickey Pinson. We now move on to our final race of the night, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2. Starting off tonight, Democrat Shirley Johnson.
Hello, Harrison County. I am Shirley Johnson, and I want to serve you as Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2. You may be wondering, who is Shirley Johnson? Why is she seeking this office, and why should I vote for her? I have some answers for you today. Let me answer your first question. Who is Shirley Johnson? I am happily married to Herbert Johnson, who served our country in the U.S. Army. I have 3 adult children. April, a minister of music in this area, Portia, an educator in the Dallas Public Schools, and Brian, a U.S. naval officer who is serving our country overseas. I am the grandmother of 7 precious grandchildren. My mother is Charlene Brooks. My sisters and brothers are Tony Thomas, Glenda Harrington, Kurt Atkins, and Christy Body. I am a graduate of Wiley College with a Bachelor of Science degree in English and History. I have taught in Texas and Louisiana public schools for 26 years. Secondly, seeking this office is the next level of service to the people of Precinct 2 in Harrison County. Being an educator, I have seen all children do not have the same advantages, which puts them on an unlevel playing field, and consequently, many of them become caught up in the criminal justice system. When I taught seniors, many of them confided in me they had probation officers. I was mildly shocked by this revelation. But when I started teaching junior high students with probation officers, I was alarmed. I want to stem this flow of young people in my court. Not only are the youth needlessly caught, many adults are as well. I will dispense justice with mercy as the circumstances dictate, because sometimes good people find themselves in bad situations. Now, the most important question of all, why should you vote for me? Do you want someone who serves God first and is not a respecter of person? Do you want to be treated fairly and respectfully? Do you want someone who has the well-being of you, your family, your friends, and your loved ones as a priority? Then you have your answer. Vote Democrat Shirley Johnson, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2. Firm, fair, and friendly. Thank you.
And thank you. That was Democratic candidate for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Shirley Johnson. Continuing along in the race for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Democratic candidate Clarice Brenda Watkins.
Good evening. I am Judge Clarice Brenda Watkins. Many of you might remember me from my Sunday morning gospel program, Joyful Noise, that aired on KMHT 1450 AM. I am currently your Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2 in Harrison County. I was appointed to fulfill this position in September of 2013. I am currently on the ballot in the March 2014 primary election. And friends, I am asking for your vote and support. I was the chief clerk in Justice Court for 10 years. I have the experience and qualifications to maintain this position. Every newly elected or appointed Justice of the Peace must complete 80 classroom hours of training. I have already completed 60 of those hours. I will complete my last 20 hours of training in San Antonio, Texas in March of 2014. The Justice of the Peace Court is truly the people's court. It is the court in which many people have their very first encounter with our judicial system. Whether it is a traffic citation, a civil suit, or perhaps I performed your marriage. A Justice of the Peace is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and has many duties, one of which are inquests of decedents. I encounter people that are facing situations that they have never faced before in their lives. I consider it a privilege to let them know that I am there for them and they can call me at any time if they have questions. A Justice of the Peace has to be able to make decisions, and some of those decisions aren't easy. In every case that I hear, I try to be fair and impartial. I listen to all of the facts, and in the end, I want you to understand why I must rule the way that I am ruling. Part of my magistrate duties is arraigning inmates and setting appropriate bonds for the offenses of which they are charged. In truancy cases with minors, nothing pleases me more than to instill in their young minds the value and importance of an education. On March 4th, 2014, I am asking for your vote. I ask that you would allow me to continue to serve as your Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2. Early voting begins February 18th through the 28th. Vote early and vote for Clarice Brenda Watkins, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2 in Harrison County. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Again, that is Democratic candidate for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Clarice Brenda Watkins. Our final candidate to speak tonight in the Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 race, as well as tonight's political forum, is Republican candidate for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, Libby Wyatt.
Good evening. I am Libby Wyatt, and I am the Republican candidate for the Justice of the Peace Precinct 2. I am a lifelong resident of Harrison County and a graduate of 1988 class of the Marshall High School. And I am married to Tony Wyatt for the past 20 years, and we have one daughter, Darby Wyatt, who is 14 years old, and one son, Drake, who is 8 years old. I have been working for Harrison County for the past 20 years, and I am currently serving as a chief court clerk for Justice of the Peace Nancy Snorbus George. Prior to that, I worked for Judge Pearl Snorbus, who was Nancy George's mother. As a chief clerk for the Justice of the Peace, I work very closely with law enforcement agencies, and I feel I have the experience and the knowledge to serve as your Justice of the Peace. To touch on some of the duties for the Justice of the Peace, they include filing civil suits, forcible entry detainers, or better known as evictions, and Class C misdemeanor cases, which involve traffic violations. They also arraign and set bonds on detainees for the Harrison County Jail, issue arrest warrants for crimes committed in our county, and inquest, or known as deceased. I am actively involved and familiar with most, if not all, of these duties, and I am currently trained to file electronic death certificates and complete and file the monthly reports that are required. During my time as clerk, I have attended numerous hours of training through the Texas Justice Court Training Center, and I am continually updated on the new laws and the changes affecting this office. I have attended the 16-hour Texas Justice Court Training Center Court Personnel Seminar, and am a Level 1 certified clerk, and will be attending another clerk school in July to try for my master's clerk certification. I pledge to work with the community diligently to ensure the citizens of Precinct 2 and Harrison County are protected, and would like to serve as your Justice of the Peace. And lastly, I would like to thank KMHT for letting me speak tonight, and please remember to vote Libby Wyatt, Republican, for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2. Early voting begins tomorrow, February the 18th, and ends on February the 28th. Election day is March the 4th. Once again, I appreciate your consideration and your vote. Thank you.
And thank you again. That is Republican candidate for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Libby Wyatt. Well, this concludes tonight's KMHT Political Forum. We remind you that early voting continues through February, well, it begins tomorrow rather, and continues through February the 28th at the Harrison County Elections Office here in Marshall. Now, for other locations and times, you may call the Harrison County Elections Office at 903-935-4822. For Marion County, call 903-665-3971. And remember, the primary election will be held on Tuesday, March the 4th. For Harrison County, again, you may call 903-935-4822, or Marion County, you may call 903-665-3971 to check the location where you should vote. We encourage all registered voters to exercise your right and get out to vote. We appreciate all of the candidates who participated in this evening's forum. We would like to express our thanks to our KMHT studio engineer, Shelby Yates. For the Heartbeat of East Texas, I'm Jamie Horton. Good night. Stay tuned as we now return you to Real Country Music on 103.9 FM.